Be right back. Okay, I'm back.
HUD activated. Commence briefing.
Approaching Haran.
Data on the subject, Kadir Suleiman. A local political figure hired to maintain order after the outbreak. His brother Hassan died in a disease-related incident before we were able to evacuate him. Suleiman blamed the GRE for Hassan's death. He stole a highly sensitive file which became his bargaining chip against the GRE, with instructions to publicize it if anything happened to him. Data on the subject. The stolen file.
Jump in 10 seconds.
It details the incomplete process of synthesizing a cure for the virus. If implemented in its current state, the produced substance may be extremely toxic.
Now.
Also, the file contains full description of the virion's structure. Any attempt to use it would result in countless lives lost. It must be recovered. Further information, current status. Suleiman sent the file to an associate unknown to us, with instructions to publicize it at his command at any time. To counter that, we instituted a citywide communication jam, preventing him from publicizing the file. Your GRE-issued radio can overcome that jamming. It is your lifeline. Do not lose it. Suleiman has since gone underground and begun using a different name. We have reason to believe he now leads one of the two main factions operating within the city. You are to find Suleiman and locate the stolen file in order to save mankind from a disaster of unprecedented proportions.
I told you that wasn't a normal drop shoot.
Break his legs, then take him to rides.
Back up! All of you!
Stop! Loud noises draw them. Fall back! Fall back!
Come on! We have to move!
Let's get him off the street.
Get the door open!
Tower, this is Jade. Get sickbay ready. Got a guy with a bad head wound and a bite on one arm.
Oh shit, Amir's hurt?
No, Amir is gone.
Yeah, a lot of
But
this
I'm
I
bringing
don't
in
know
someone
what
who
it
might
means,
still
don't you?
survive.
One of us?
We'll see.
What?
You pinch him. You're scared. I'm not scared. Then pinch him. He blinked. What? He blinked again. What if he's a zombie? Zombie! Run!
I'm thinking maybe survival. I mean hunter. But survival was one of the skills that I put a negative in.
What?
Like, hunter has a move called surprise. And it says prerequisite hunter and either adept, stealth, or survival.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And as a swift action, I make an attack against a foe that does not anticipate an attack or is adjacent to your Pokemon with Pack Hunter or Teamwork. And then effect, make 2 attack rolls for the triggering action and use the better result to finalize the attack. If both attacks would hit, the target is flinched, whatever that means. Surprise may be used only once per scene per target. The triggering attack was a Pokeball, Hand Net, Wave Net, Glue Cannon, or Struggle attack. Surprise costs 1 AP. Otherwise, it is 2 AP. But I could be like, surprise! Stab, stab, stab.
31. That's your number.
Excuse me?
Your number. You're the 31st infected. I'm the 18th. Everything is counted here. 1 fewer doses of antizin. 1 more new infected. 1 more runner gone. 31 infected and only 7 runners left.
And we can't afford to lose them. Amir died because of this guy?
Quiet.
Oh, fuck quiet. Now he's gonna get Amir's anti-scene.
Oh, that's pretty good.
One by one. And
Hunter's reflexes.
Crane,
You and your Pokemon may make up
31.
to 3 attacks of
right.
opportunity each
How's
round
your
instead
head?
of only one.
Head.
Additionally, your attacks
Listen up.
always
Until
consider you
boss
to be
says so, you
adjacent
are
to your
not on the
target for the
list.
purpose
So go
of
talk to him
benefiting from your
ASAP and let's
Pokemon's
get things
teamwork
moving.
ability,
Now, if you'll
and
excuse
count as melee attacks for the purposes of triggering their Pack Hunt ability.
I see.
Yes.
I am not doing any of the trainer fighting stuff.
You and your Pokemon gain a +5 bonus to damage rolls against fainted, flinch,
looking for the
sleeping,
boss. Is he in
stuck,
there?
slow,
Oh,
trap,
yes,
or
31.
tripped at
Go on in.
targets. So that would work well with the yawn attack that you was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that shit, go ahead. I'm not interested in having my trainer fight other than giving orders and commands and stuff.
So you're gonna be a traditional Pokemonalist.
Well, I'm also going to basically I'm basically trying to be a bard.
A bard?
Yeah, where I like buff people and not just other trainers, but also their Pokemon.
Hey, I'm looking for the... Are you the boss?
What, am I too young? You got the problem with my age?
No, You wanted to talk to me?
That's better. Do you remember anything? Know what you are?
Yeah, I can see this is some kind of shelter.
We call it the Tower. Brecken and his runners put it all together a couple of months ago, and we've been here ever since. Hunting airdrops, scavenging,
Martial artist
and
seems
rescuing
pretty
people.
cool.
Yeah, I wanted to thank that girl.
Good, because if not for her, you'd already be chewing somebody's knee bone. Your antizen was totally crushed, by the way. Only thing Jade could salvage
What
was
do
your radio.
tags
Oh, great.
do?
So can I get that back, please?
Actually, I think I need it more than you do.
Believe me, pal, that's not the
Tags?
case.
Fine.
Tags classify what
You know how runners put their lives in danger
what
for
something
guys like
is in
you.
the features.
So now you take the antizen meant for someone else, and you won't
Well,
even
it
share your gear
says,
with us?
For martial
I don't have
artists,
time to deal with
choose
your
one of the
bullshit.
abilities
I've
listed
lost contact
below.
with one of our guys thanks
You
to the
gain
fucked
the
up radios
chosen
we're stuck with.
ability and its associated tags.
Do something for me,
Whenever
would
you
you?
gain a
I don't
martial
want to
artist
see you
feature,
or your
you
precious
also
radio
gain
anymore,
the
so
associated
go be useful
tags.
somewhere else. We
And
don't
then they
tolerate
have like a
lazy assholes
list
here in the
like
tower.
Guts is HP,
Hey,
Inner
be
Focus
fair,
is
I'm
speed,
not
Iron
lazy, I'm
Fist
just-
is
hey.
defense,
Boss.
Lumber is speed,
That last guy I
Reckless is
mentioned,
attack,
he's
and
only on the 13th floor,
Technician is
but he might as
speed.
well be trapped in a mine cave-in. Come back
So
later.
I guess Guts and Technician and all that
And I'm not the
are
boss. Too young,
abilities?
remember?
I
I'm
don't
Hakeem.
I don't
Brecken's in
know.
charge here.
You'd have to talk to Pasty. He knows more about the
Yeah.
system than I do.
I'm not
He's the one
lazy,
that helped me
little shit.
figure out like being commander and all that.
You know this one?
Alright.
What did the zombie say to his date?
My Kung Fu is stronger. Trigger, a foe provokes an attack of opportunity. You may use Rock Smash instead of an unarmed struggle attack. If you do Rock Smash, effects range is increased by +2.
Where do you think you're going?
The 13th floor. I'm getting some stuff for Raheem.
13? Shit. There's gonna be some dirty
Why
work.
would the range need to
But we all
go
got
up?
to pull our weight around here, huh?
Jesus. How many people died here? Crane here.
Where were you? We've been waiting for your report. It's been over 70 hours.
I lost my radio for a while. Don't worry, my cover's intact. No contact with the tower's leader yet. Unable to confirm identity. I'm taking steps to blend in.
Acknowledged. Time is of the essence, Crane. Remember
If you're trying to be a bard, they
There's
have
one more
one
thing.
called musician.
I got bitten. I've shown no symptoms, but the people here say I'm infected.
Then you'd better get your hands on some antizin ASAP.
Like, Song of Courage. All allies in the area of effect gain +2 bonus to skill checks and save checks against until the end of your next turn. Song of Might. All allies in the effect gain a +5 bonus to damage rolls until the end of your next turn. Song of Life. All allies in the area of effect gain 5 damage reduction until the end of your next turn. Logic.
I cut my arm getting away from him. Oh, God. You had to kill him, didn't you? God damn it! That was my brother. I came down to see him and...
Easy, easy. It's all right now. I'll get help. Hey, Raheem, this is Crane. I'm down here on 13. Listen, this guy of yours got fucked up pretty bad getting away from a zombie.
Oh shit. 31? You went after Mark? Is it safe down there?
Yeah, well, it's safe enough now.
Okay, don't move.
Oh, did you get
Lena downstairs.
the other thing that he sent?
Hey, hold still. Lena will be here any minute.
Gauze. You've got to find some gauze. Oh, and alcohol. Combine them. That will stop the bleeding. Please hurry.
I try to stay calm, okay? I'll be right back.
Did you ask me something?
Yeah, did you get the other PDF that he told us about? There's 3 total.
Oh, the Game of Throws?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, he suggested that I take Skirmisher, so let me read that. I think that's a feat, right?
Yeah, maybe. If it's not a feat, then it's an edge.
Let's see. Skirmisher. Class. Speed. Weapon. What does plus speed mean? Do I increase my speed with this?
Means that it works off from your speed, I think. Something similar to that.
Well, maybe you can help me with this. It says Skirmisher. Prerequisites. Novice Combat and Novice Acrobatics, which I have. And then Static, whatever that means. Effect. Choose Flutter or Vanguard. You gain the chosen ability. What does Flutter and Vanguard do?
That's... Now you have to...
Okay, I think that's everything I'm gonna find.
Now you have to
Let's give
type
this a
in
shot.
Floater and Vanguard. Or it's on the Extras tab. Under Techniques. Is that what it is? A technique?
It says you gained the chosen ability, so I don't know. I can't seem to find technique.
Okay, who's hurt?
He's bleeding pretty bad.
Let me see him. Gauze and alcohol, huh? Pretty primitive, but it'll work.
Let's see, maybe combat?
Thanks for the help. I'll take care of him from here.
Well done, 31.
Hey, 31. Not bad for a new guy. Perhaps I misjudged you.
Oh my god, we have an unlimited flashlight.
For what you did for me.
Well, good.
An unlimited flashlight?
Yep.
What does that mean?
Means
flashlight?
Means that we don't. You remember Dead Island?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about our flashlight running out anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I had to worry about that.
Yeah, you did.
No, not in the parkour game.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I can't figure it out on the Google sheet. Maybe you can help?
I don't know.
Trainer. Maybe it's a trainer thing.
Read me back the feature again.
It's called Skirmisher. It's class plus speed and then weapon. And then it says prerequisites, novice combat, novice acrobatics. And then effect, choose flutter or vanguard. You gain the chosen ability. And that's the first one. Everything else seems to need skirmisher.
It was flutter.
Yeah, flutter or vanguard. And I don't know what they do. But I have to choose one. I'm not sure where to even look it up at.
It's on the combat tab under abilities.
Combat abilities. let's see. It says at will shift action. Wonders what a shift action is.
I don't know. You'll have
User
to...
gains 3 evasion until the end of their next turn and cannot be flanked.
It used to be a really nice town, you know?
All right,
Vanguard says the user gains +5 bonus to all damage rolls against targets with an initiative lower than itself that have not yet acted that round.
Really?
Having emptied up your action via an interrupter similar on a previous round does not count as having acted that round.
Mom's dead. So you might want to be a little nicer to me since I'm the only family you have left. Especially now that Amir is gone.
Sorry, I'm listening
Jade,
to a
right?
cutscene.
Right.
I just wanted to thank you for what you did for me and tell you how sorry I am for your loss. I owe you and Amir my life.
Yeah, you do. You want to return the favor? Keep my dipshit brother from killing himself. No explosives, Rahim.
Okay, what did you need?
What is a at-will shift action? I guess at-will just means I can do it every turn.
Means you can do it on your turn, yeah.
Alright.
I don't know what a shift action is. But what's the effect of flutter? Oh, we found a statue.
So, is that enough? Do I get to talk to Brecken now?
First, go change your clothes. I left some new ones for you in your room. You're in 194.
Something wrong with what I'm wearing?
You need something that fits the job Brecken wants you to do. Call me when you've changed.
Who makes those airdrops anyway?
Okay, Rahim, I'm ready. Where do I find Brecken?
Not so fast, 31. If you're going to earn your keep, we have to find out if you've got the skills. So get your ass up to the gym. It's on the top floor. Just a couple flights up.
Things are getting worse and worse.
Hey, Logic.
How are zombies like computers?
I'm trying to find Feint Attack to see what that does. And can't seem to find it.
It's a Pokemon move. So you have to go to the Pokemon template and type in feint attack.
Okay, it says type dark, category physical, DB6, whatever that is. Damage roll 2d6 plus 8 plus 1. Feint attack cannot miss. Interesting.
Then you can put it on your move list under the dark purple ones.
Let's see, thief. Oh, thief is also an attack damage thing. DB6, so it's same as feint attack. Frequency at will. AC 2. Melee 1 target. Thief takes the target's held item and attaches it to the thief's user if the user is not holding anything. So I can steal items and do damage. That sounds useful.
If a Pokemon or trainer is holding items.
Well, most of them would be, right?
That's something you'd have to talk to Pasty about. I don't.
Alright.
It might be specific items and not just like, oh, I steal a Pokeball off this person.
Yeah.
Like, it might be something that's like a held item. Did you get your Eevee winter cloak?
No, I haven't even, like, finished doing my Eevee stuff. I figured I would do my Pokemon trainer stuff. And then whenever Pasty was done taking a nap, ask him to go and look at it for me. Ask him for, like, advice that you couldn't answer. And have him help me figure out my Pokemon stuff. Since my Pokemon isn't exactly an Eevee, he said he would help me with my Pokemon stuff, though. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means.
What?
For one of the things, it says cutthroat as a rogue thing.
Raheem,
Additionally, you may qualify for weapon moves, or for small melee or short-range weapons, and resist disarm maneuvers when wielding such weapons using any rogue skill. So, how do you resist disarm maneuvers? Rogue skill would be acrobatics, athletics, or stealth. So I'm guessing it'll let me roll one of those instead of something else. But I'm not really sure what that means. Then there's another one that I don't know what it means. You hit a foe with a weapon attack. After the attack is resolved, you may immediately use the dirty trick maneuver.
Welcome to our
If the
gym.
target is within
First things
range,
first,
you automatically
you've got
hit
to
with
learn
the
how to
dirty
run.
trick,
What do you
but
mean,
must
learn
still
how to
make an
run?
opposed roll.
Just do what I say, all right?
So,
Now,
what is
jump down to
dirty
the very
trick?
bottom.
Is that an attack? They called it a maneuver. I'm not seeing it under combat. Maybe it's a Pokemon thing?
Maneuver. I don't know. I'm trying to help.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I found it. It is under
Where is
combat.
it? It's in a combat?
Yeah, so under your move list, there's a thing called maneuver reference.
Oh.
And then there's dirty trick.
Category. I don't know what that means. It's like a yin yang. So category yin yang, AC2, melee 1 target. You may perform any of the following dirty tricks: hinder, bind, art blind, or low blow. You must use each trick only once each scene per target. Input each dirty trick for details. So hinder, blind, or low blow.
And those are also under maneuver reference.
Yeah, I'm looking at them. You and the target must make opposed athletics checks. If you win, the target is slowed and takes a -2 penalty to all skill checks for 1 round. Oh, Pasty said he was back and was gonna join the chat.
Okay. We can move there.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
It's a rush, isn't it? But don't blow your load just yet. There's more. To survive outside, you got to take advantage of the terrain. Most eaters suck at climbing, so the harder the terrain is, the better for you. I've got some typical situations set up for you. Let's see how you handle them.
Sometimes it's better to crawl through the low, narrow passages. Eaters will have a tough time following you. Try not to slow down once you start running. Outside, if you stop, you're probably dead. Not bad. For a noob.
outside for 10 minutes if you can't do that.
Hello.
Hello, Pasty.
Good job.
Alright.
Okay.
Give me a few minutes here. I'm doing a little something. I'm also starving. I just woke up from a nap.
Well, get some to eat.
All I got right now is tacos, so that might take a minute.
Yep. Pasty and his tacos.
Well, they're just leftovers, so. I like tacos. I like tamales more, actually, but I do like tacos.
You've got some serious natural talent, man. Either that, or you've done this before. You done this before?
Hardly. The closest I ever came to this was running track in high school.
Well, then you're a fucking prodigy. Never seen anything like it.
What's happening to me? Shit. Oh, shit.
Talk to me. What's going on?
Something went wrong. Raheem, what just happened to me?
Oh shit. I bet you're having your first
Raheem, what the fuck was that? Does this mean I'm turning?
Most likely no. At least not yet. Caesars reminds you that you're infected. You better go see Dr. Zera though. He'll check you out, probably give you a shot of antizin. Before you head out to see Zera, talk to the quartermaster. He'll gear you up so you can go outside without getting your head bitten off.
They've given me an actual job, and nobody suspects I'm not who I say I am.
Always check what's behind you. Oh, you're the new scout. Rahim radioed me about you.
Yeah, that's me. Name's Crane.
I'm not gonna bother learning your name till you've survived a few days, but here, this is for you. By the way, word around the tower is you're just another deadbeat in line for food or antizin. By which I mean, the people here don't much like you. But don't blame them. It's easy to get paranoid when you're isolated. And since somebody's jamming communications to the outside, there's plenty of paranoia to go around. Whole damn city with nobody to call for help but ourselves. You bring me some supplies from the airdrops, though, and you'll see people change their tunes in a hurry. That shit's a game changer.
Thanks. I'll bear that in mind. Listen, is there anything else? I'm in a bit of a rush.
Also, if you're looking to get more popular, you can try helping folks. Do a few favors, they might like you more. Might even find a woman. Keep you warm at night.
Yeah.
Logic. So in D&D terms, we have like 2 or 3 armor classes, ACs, that they need to hit. Or is it just one? Because I see defense, and special defense, and then speed. Does speed make you less likely to get hit?
It's a bonus to against all all attacks. Special defense is
for special attacks?
Yes, it's defense against special attacks. And
then defense is just against normal attacks?
Against normal attacks, yeah. Welcome back, Pasty.
Hey, almost done doing this thing here, but I'm listening.
Alright. Is that right though, Pasty? Speed gives you a bonus to, like, not getting hit?
Pretty much. So speed doesn't really do much in terms of like
Well, I thought
anything.
it was also like your initiative and stuff.
Yeah, it does 2 major things. It determines your initiative, and it determines your speed evasion, which is sort of like a universal evasion choice. So like if you're being hit with a special attack and your special defense sucks, you could just use your speed instead if it's better.
It's Crane, kid.
Oh. Alright.
But only for your evasion. Otherwise, speed doesn't really count towards any like reduction to damage.
Okie dokie. So special defense and defense also lowers damage?
Yes, they
like damage reduction and AC?
There is no AC in the game, so
oh.
Yeah, you don't have to think about that. Your AC is essentially your evasion stats, and they cap at 9 at most. And your derived evasion, or your evasion derived from your stats cap at 6, and then you can only add like +3 bonus more past that. Now, if your evasion stat derived from your stats is lower than 6, you can just keep adding bonuses until it reaches 9, but like it caps at 9. The point really is because in Pokemon it's generally easy to hit. You know, there's very few low accuracy attacks. So the game plays like Pokemon where like
how does that work then? Because I see all my evasions are 1 currently.
Yeah, because it takes.
So does that mean like I add 1 to something?
No, it'll automatically fill in every 5 points to a defense stat, whether it be special defense, defense, or speed, contributes to 1 point of evasion.
So how does attack work then?
What do you, like, your attack
Does
stat?
that just add damage or something?
Yeah, that adds direct damage. That, like, you add your so after you roll your damage base, you add whatever damage type the attack is by your stat, like flat out your stat. So, for example, Rock Smash is like 1d8 plus 4, so you roll 1d8 plus 4, and then you add your attack stat.
So my attack stat currently is 10, so it would be like plus 14.
Pretty much, but it will automatically add your attack stat because there's macros in the sheets that. Yeah, so I'll show you how that works.
Does that make it more likely to hit with an attack, or just
no
more damage with the attack?
You just deal more damage. Accuracy is sort of like a very difficult thing to adjust in this game. And that is mostly because how accuracy works is you still roll a d20 like any other like 20 system, but for example, like you know how like Rock Smash has an ace.
Rock Smash has 2, so
yeah,
I guess as long as you don't roll a 1, you hit.
What that means is you roll a d20 minus 2 to the attack.
Okay.
And the goal is still to roll high, but keep in mind, like, the AC of your opponents are inherently very low.
So, if it was like d20 minus 2, and let's say they have an evasion of 2 or 3 or something like that.
Correct.
I have to beat a 3 on a d20 minus 2?
Correct.
Okay, so basically as long as I roll a 5 or higher,
yes,
then I would still hit them?
Because you have to meet or beat the evasion.
Okay.
Now, the reason for this is because it accounts for moves with very low accuracy. For example, like Dynamic Punch is a very low accuracy attack.
What does that give? Do you remember?
It's a really strong fighting attack that if it hits, your opponent is automatically confused.
Alright.
And
so I guess it just has a high AC to its attack?
Yeah, I think it's like a 5. No, it's not. 5. It's not that ridiculously high, but but the reason for the minusing, like it seems kind of low.
Yeah.
It might be 5. It might be 6. I don't know. You'd have to look at it, but yeah, the reason why there's minuses instead of additions is because it tries to play like the accuracy in the games. Now, that isn't to say that there isn't any additions to accuracy. There's one practical way called, I believe it is called focus training, which increases. That is a feat. It is one of the trainings. There's only 4 trainings in the game: focus training, agility training, inspired training, and brutal training. And when you start out, you can get one of these trainings for free without meeting any requisites.
Oh, okay, so that's one of the feats that Logic was talking about that you get for free.
Because you start out with 4 feats that you can pick from, and a 5th feat, which is your training feat that you get for free.
You'll see. I'll be talking you through it.
So what does focus do? Just like -1 to all attacks or something?
No, it adds 1 to attacks. Because remember, the goal is still to roll high. It's just how everything works is everything kind of reduces your accuracy, but there are ways to improve it.
So like, it would, in essence, like if I used Rock Smash, it would lower it from a AC 2 to like AC 1 or something?
effectively, but you don't. There's accuracy bonus trackers on your character sheet,
Oh,
so you could just put in your
alright.
accuracy bonus there, and it'll automatically calculate that. So you don't. Generally
Alright.
speaking, you don't ever really have to modify your moves unless if you have very specific things that modify your moves. Make sense?
Alright. What would a special attack be considered for, like, um, a Pokemon trainer? Because
What
I
would be
wasn't sure if I need to raise attack or special attack. Like, if I'm like, Magdar uses gun, and then I pull out a gun, and I shoot
yeah
him,
yeah
would
there
that
is
be a
a
special attack or a normal attack?
so weapons are weird. I don't know if you read it.
Okay, no, I haven't read that far yet.
Okay, so weapons are weird. There's different categories of weapons that apply bonuses to not only to the weapon, but also I believe your struggles.
Oh.
But at the same time,
So, like, if I have a sword or something, I can use that when I use struggle?
yeah, there's categories within categories of weapons. There's the quality category, which basically it could either be a crude weapon, a simple weapon, or I believe it's called like a fine weapon, I think is what the last one is called.
Alright.
Uh, so a crude weapon doesn't provide any unique attacks.
Okay. So what would that be like? Finding a stick by a tree
Pretty
and
much.
then using
A
it like a
stick,
club?
yes, a stick, a club, maybe a really bad sword, you know.
Well, you
And
could
then
sharpen it and it's a spear, maybe.
yeah, and then there's the types of those kind of weapons,
Yeah.
which would be a small melee weapon, large melee weapon, short range weapon, long range weapon, and then there's like a specific
So
foot
I'm
weapon.
guessing all melee weapons are short range, or no? What
They'll
constitutes long range other than like a gun or a
it
bow and
will
arrow or something?
it it will give you examples on the thing. A long bow would be considered a long range weapon. A short bow would be
Yeah.
considered a short range weapon.
Really?
Yeah. Um,
Huh.
a handgun could be a short range weapon. The range on these are not like that bad, so you don't have to
Oh.
worry too much.
So short range doesn't mean melee then?
Yeah, short range means just like
Okay.
not as long as long range in that sense.
Gotcha.
A melee weapon is a melee weapon, and there's
Yeah,
two
I
types.
figure a handgun would have longer range than a short bow.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, anyways, crude weapons are simple weapons, and uh, crude weapons are just like they're very easy to understand, is what I meant by simple, because there's simple and then there's
Yeah.
fine. Um, but a crude weapon will provide the bonuses based on the type of weapon it is. So a small melee weapon provides a +1 to the damage base of your struggle attacks,
Alright.
and that would be it. It is a very like simple bonus.
So what would
Whereas,
that be, like a knife?
yeah, whereas
Alright.
a large weapon would give you +2 to your damage base at the cost of losing 1 accuracy.
So swords are less accurate than knives? Stuff like that?
Yeah, long swords might be less accurate, or probably better yet, like a great sword, you know, because that would be
Oh,
big and
okay.
heavy.
So like two-handed weapon.
Yeah, essentially large weapons are two-handed weapons.
Alright.
I'm outside. I'm working for Spike.
Although they don't have to be two-handed weapons. It basically how weapons work is you kind of just make up the weapon and you pick these categories to fit the bill of that weapon. Does that make sense?
So they don't exactly have like a list of all the weapons. You just
No.
kind of
They
make
do
it up.
have a list of unique attacks a weapon can provide, But in order to get those attacks, you need a simple or fine weapon to get them. And there's two
What would a fine weapon be?
Like a really well-made, basically just a really well-made weapon. The quality
So,
of the
like,
yeah. Go ahead.
So, like, a normal knife would be a simple weapon, but like a high-grade steel
Dagger.
folded knife or something.
Yeah,
would be like a fine weapon.
Yeah, a butterfly knife might be a fine weapon. You know.
All right.
Takes finesse to use, kind of thing. Or even.
Do you still add your attack or special attack or something like that to weapons?
Yeah, struggle attacks. You add your attack towards, and generally they're always physical attacks.
All right.
Unless specified otherwise. For example,
okay.
There are capabilities that Pokemon can have that can change the element of their struggle attack from, I believe struggle attacks are always normal or they're typeless. I'm pretty sure they're always normal though. A struggle attack will be a... Was somebody going to say something or did I just hear my own voice?
Sorry,
that was Icebox.
Oh, okay. So a struggle attack is generally always a normal type attack, and you would add your physical attack stat. There are capabilities that Pokemon can have that can transform those struggle attacks into a different element. For example, Fountain can turn your struggle into a water attack, but it's still considered a physical attack. So you have to get a Poke Edge, which is edges specific only to Pokemon. I forget what it's called, but it'll allow you to switch the physical to a special attack for your struggles.
So unless it specifies somewhere in the weapon or something, it's probably going to use normal attack instead of special attack, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Alright. Because, like, I did notice, like, Rogue, for instance, I was looking at Rogue.
Oh man, I think it's too late for this guy.
It says, like, you can use certain weapons with your thing. And I was like, alright, that sounds good. And, there was another thing. Skirmisher.
It's done. Fuck.
You said you was recommending that I take Skirmisher as one of my feats, right?
That or Rogue, just depending on your preferences.
Yeah. Skirmisher says class, like the tags. It says class, and then plus speed. Does that mean that it increases my speed?
Yeah, so...
And then weapon.
So, okay, so those tags, there's actually a tag list if you need a reference on the handbook. But essentially what those tags mean is if it says speed or pretty much any stat in the game, whenever you take that feat, you get +1 to that stat.
Oh, okay.
And what weapon means, generally speaking, is that this feature will relate to weapon mechanics, and you'll have to consider weapons.
Alright. Yeah, the only weapon tags that I saw was Weapon Finesse, which says it uses 2 AP, which I guess that's like we have a certain amount of AP every round. 5, if I remember.
Yeah, how it works is AP actually, it's a certain amount of action points you use per combat, but they replenish after combat, like completely.
Alright.
Just give me a second.
So you don't get AP back every round?
No. Unless you read that somewhere, maybe. But I'm pretty sure it comes back every encounter.
So, what if you have a fight and you run out of AP?
Then you're out.
Does that mean you can't make an attack?
No. Your AP basically limits specific features that you can use. Generally, a feature that requires AP might be considered a very strong feature. Therefore, there's an AP use, which you have to manage with your AP limit.
Okay.
And you get more AP as you level, like that.
Yeah, I remember it was something like you get 1 AP every 2 levels or something like that.
Something along
Maybe it
those
was
lines.
every 5.
Yeah, I don't remember, but you start with a pretty good amount, and you'll end up with
Yeah.
like 12 or something like that, and that's kind of a lot because a lot of these features don't use more than 2 AP. So
Yeah. So, what Weapon Finesse says is 2 AP swift action, I guess. What is a swift action?
a swift
First.
action is essentially just a bonus action.
And how many do you get per round?
I believe one, much like a bonus action, but I can double check
Oh,
real quick.
all right. So, what about a free action? Do you have infinite of those?
Yeah, those are infinite. Free actions are
All
endless.
right. So, as a swift action, which is, I guess, once per round, after the attack is resolved, you may immediately use a disarm, a trip, or push maneuver against that foe as a free action. The maneuver automatically hits, but you must still make an opposed roll.
Yeah.
So, does disarm, trip, or push do any actual damage?
No,
Is it
they
like a Pokemon attack?
no, they're essentially they're called combat maneuvers. They're in the combat maneuver category.
All right.
They're essentially status attacks, much like status moves.
Okay.
The
Let me
idea
see
is
if I can find that.
yeah, trip is really good because it knocks your opponent prone, and being
Do they
knocked
have to
prone.
spend a move action to get up or something?
Yeah, they have to spend, I believe, all their movement to get up. And here's the kicker: whenever somebody gets up from being prone, it automatically allows you to do an opportunity attack.
Crane here.
That makes sense.
Okay, I met this doctor, scientist
Like
type.
if they're
They've got him set
prone,
up in
do
a
they
sort of
take more
research trailer, and
damage
he's
or
working on a
something?
cure for the virus.
Like is all
His name
damage
is Zara.
considered lethal or
Hello?
something to that
Do you
effect?
copy?
I believe there's something similar to that, but I don't think it's exactly like DBU where your damage is considered lethal.
Because I was
Stolen
thinking of
file still
taking
takes top
weapon
priority though,
finesse and then knocking people down. And where was it? Because the rogue had something too.
Jade, it's done.
Oh, I should ask. Because I see a lot of these rogues moves have plus attack, right?
Something like that.
I have already increased my attack by +5, and the book said something about like I couldn't increase it more than 5 at first level. Does that not count these features that increase it further possibly, or do I need to lower my attack?
I didn't know there was a rule like that. Let me check.
Yeah.
So basically it's like a rule so you can't dump all your stat points into a single stat at first level.
It was basically something to that effect. It's like
Okay. So I'm gonna have to ask you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you real quick. There's a lot of stuff that you're asking me, and I have to like check on. So
oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm trying.
Wait.
Yeah. So let's try to take care of these questions one at a time. And
oh, we haven't been.
Well, you were asking about push and trip, and I was gonna help you with that. And then you kind of just moved on.
It already.
Well, you're asking like what trip does, and you wanted to know what knock prone does, and then I didn't really get to answer that, and then you started asking about other things.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want these questions answered, and I was kind of in the middle of trying to, so
yeah.
Let's start with your biggest questions.
All right. For trip, it says AC 6. Right?
Yes.
So I gotta roll 6 or higher?
You have to roll a D20 minus 6. And then beat their
6.
And beat their evasion. And because it's a status attack, it automatically targets their speed evasion.
Alright.
Because there's no attack, you know.
Yeah. And it says you and the target make opposed combat or acrobatics checks. if you win, the target is knocked over and
All
tripped.
done with the car, Spike.
Yeah, tripped
So
is
does that
essentially
mean
prone.
instead of a random d20, I add my combat to it?
Yeah,
these
so
freaks are everywhere.
basically
If I need
with
to
how
use a
your
trap,
feature
how do I
works, I
activate it?
believe it said if you miss an attack. Is that right?
No, it says if I hit or miss.
Shit.
Oh, hit or miss. Okay.
Yeah,
So
resolve that, and then as like a bonus action,
yeah, you can
I
use
can trip them for a free action.
yeah, and the attack automatically hits, so you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about the AC, but only in that circumstance.
Okay. So normally though, if I wanted to trip them, I would roll a flat d20 minus 6, and then if that hits, then we both make opposed combat or acrobatics checks.
Correct.
Okay, I think I get it then.
Yeah, and then tripped is essentially this game's version of prone.
Yeah, does that do anything?
Let's
Other
see.
than not move, maybe?
Well, it's gonna do that, I believe.
Well, unless they can crawl or something.
I believe crawling might be an option. I'm not sure. I'm getting to it. Tripped. A Pokemon or trainer has been tripped needs to spend a shift action getting up before they can take further actions.
Question, what is a shift action?
That is basically, so instead of movement being just a thing you can do, it's an entire action you take.
And how many shift actions do you get?
1.
Okay.
Unless, specified otherwise in some way. And what's interesting about tripped is that if you're down, you can't do anything until you get up.
They can't even order their Pokemon?
Well, they can't take any further actions, so they can't use like using an order isn't necessarily an action. So they can still command their Pokemon while tripped, but they can't do anything else. They have to use their whole movement to get up. And I believe there's only 1 or 2 ways to work around that, which there's the general edge called, I think it's actually a feature, I don't know, whichever edge or feature, it's called tip up. You can just use half your movement, I believe, just to get up instead.
Yeah, that's an edge.
Well, what would that be? Half your shift? I thought you only get one of those.
Well, basically, what it means is you're using half of your movement capability to get up, and then when you shift, you can only use half of your movement capability.
Oh, alright. So, that makes sense, I guess. So, if they're down, is there a way that I can, grapple them or something and keep them from getting up?
Grappling is a combat maneuver, so let's look at that.
In DBU, you can pin somebody, for instance? Is that a thing in this game?
I think... we often don't use the combat maneuvers because they're a little iffy.
Oh.
But that's just because of our playstyle. That doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. If we want something to be removed from the field, we just order our Pokemon to attack them.
Yeah.
Let's see. I did grapple once, to great effect, but it was basically me just dragging the person to my Pokemon. Yeah, so there is essentially a pin, and it's a bonus that you can apply while grappling somebody. So yeah, grappling is such a big thing. It's it takes up half a page.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, so I'll read this. So grapple, AC of 4, status, melee 1, effect. You and the target make opposed combat or athletic checks. If you win, you are the target. You and the target become grappled. Yeah, so essentially when you grapple somebody, you're both grappled because you're kind of in a grappling match now.
Yeah, I get it.
and you gain dominance in the grapple. That's if you win.
Alright.
Pokemon and trainers that are... Oh, go ahead.
Well, you said it had like an AC 4. Is that like... Does that AC go down if they're prone or anything? Do they have a penalty to their acrobatics check or whatever?
I think the status you're trying to like search for, because I know what you're doing, right? I know what you're trying to ask. You're looking for ways to get better accuracy.
Yeah, like
there is a status
you...
condition that can help you called vulnerable, which
Yeah.
makes it to where you ignore their evasions.
Oh. Is that a feat?
No, it's a condition called vulnerable, and there might be ways that you can apply it.
Alright, is that like in 5e, for instance, the way that advantage and disadvantage works is basically, unless it specifically says it gives you advantage or disadvantage or something like that, it's kind of up to the GM to decide, like, if jumping on a table or something gives you advantage or not.
Yeah, technically.
Is it like that?
Vulnerable?
Yeah.
I don't think so. This game's a bit more rigid with its conditions. But I can just say, like, hey, they count as vulnerable in this situation. Now, in the case of being tripped, I wouldn't count it because that would make because there is a lot of ways you can like trip somebody in this game.
Yeah, I just mean, like, if I knock him down, I can jump on him and then like grab him.
Yeah,
and
but
then I'm on top.
Let me just tell you this, because you're about to have your answers really soon. Yeah. So when you so here's the big thing. When you grapple, you're both grappled. Here's the general, here's the